The Kifaru Deluxe Bino harness. This is going to be a 1-year review. I'm going to talk about what I like about this Bino harness and maybe some things that I didn't like about it and some modifications that I made to make this thing work for me. So let's get into it. So a couple things that I really like about this Bino harness are the durability of it, the material that it's made out of, and the layout of the pockets. I think it's designed really well and it works great for me. Okay, let's just get into the layout of it. So you have your main compartment here that holds your binoculars, and then you have your rangefinder pouch here on the side, and then on this side you have an accessory pouch that has a zipper. So that's pretty standard. Most Bino harnesses have something comparable, but I do like the way that these pockets are. I do like the zipper on this accessory pouch, and I do like how this is a one-handed operation for your rangefinder. And the inside of these pockets is like a lined webbing, which I find to be very quiet, and it seems to secure everything inside of it well. In the accessory pouch, I keep a couple different things. I'll usually keep camera batteries or a call or a tripod adapter or little things like that, a battery, GoPro batteries, things like that. Definitely a nice little side pouch. On the front of the Bino harness, you do have MOLLE webbing, which I do like. I find that handy. I actually got the navigation pouch, which is an add-on you can get with this Bino harness. It's basically a pouch that sits here on front of this MOLLE attachment, and it's a zippered pouch, and it can lay and hold your phone. That's why it's called the navigation pouch. I ended up taking that navigation pouch off. I just found that I wasn't really using it for that purpose, and it was just taking up a little bit too much space on the front of my Bino harness and adding some sort of unnecessary bulk. But I do like that pouch, and I have repurposed it and just put it on the side of my pack. So it's MOLLE, so I've taken that pouch and I've put it on the side of my pack, and it's a great just side accessory pouch. But because you have MOLLE here, you could attach different things here, different pouches, a blade, something like that. On the bottom, there's also MOLLE attachments on the bottom. And right now I'm running my blade. So this is a Montana Knife Company Stone Goat knife, and I am running the sheath just through that MOLLE with a MOLLE attachment piece, and that seems to be working really well. I just added that, so we'll see if this gets in the way and it's annoying, but I've been shooting my bow with it and it's actually been fine. Another good use of this bottom MOLLE webbing is to attach a bear spray holder. So if I'm hunting in grizzly country, I will have a pistol, but I'll also have bear spray attached on this bottom MOLLE strap. Coming over to the side of the Bino harness, you do have these small pockets here, and they're open. There's a little bit of elastic, but I find these to be handy for small things like a wind checker. I'll keep my wind checker there. It's just easy to deploy. And then same thing on this side. You have a matching side pocket. Here I just have an Allen wrench set here, and just very handy, and I like the layout of that. On the back side, you have this webbing pocket, and this is a nice pocket to keep tags, any paperwork. Got a lighter. I think I have an extra battery in here. You can put game calls, any sort of little things that you need to quickly retrieve. Okay, so getting into the main compartment of this Bino harness. So it's not a magnet. It is a one-handed operation. Just opens like that. In this top lid, there's a bar there. I don't know if it's aluminum or carbon fiber or whatever it is, but basically that basically just pops over the back side of that. Depending on how much stuff you have in here, it's really easy to do with one hand. If you have some larger binoculars and more things in this section, sometimes you do have to kind of squeeze it over. But for the most part, it's a one-handed operation. I'm not totally sure if I love this system, this opening system. It is relatively easy to open with one hand, but the way that it kind of secures, I feel like is not that secure. It does get loose over time, and it can just kind of pop off. Not a huge concern. It hasn't been an issue for me in the field, but I wonder if I would like something a little bit more secure, like magnets or some kind of other system. When you open it up, you have your main section here for your binoculars. In the interior of this section is some webbing, and then at the bottom you have some foam. So it is very quiet getting your binoculars in and out. There is a good amount of space in this XL version, so it's going to fit most of your binoculars, most of your 15 or 18 by binoculars. With that being said, if you are running smaller binoculars in this XL, or thinner binoculars like these SIG Zulu 6 HDXs, there's going to be a lot of space. So you're going to need to either take some kind of cloth or some kind of foam and fit it in there so this doesn't slide out, or you're going to need to have some kind of attachment for the binoculars. Moving on, the top lid here, you also have this soft webbing, which is really nice. And then you do have this big pocket kind of between the lid and the front of the Bino harness and your binoculars. There is a good amount of space in there. So I have broadhead tool, I've got a caul, I've got lens cloth, and I also keep my archery release up here as well because it's right there, it's really easy to grab. But I think what it was designed for was your cell phone. So your cell phone fits in there perfectly, and you can close it. There is a section where you can run a power cable and you can be charging this while you're in the field. That could be handy if you like to run it that way. I've found that I haven't put my cell phone in here really at all, but I do still like the pouch to store other things. Another thing that I've used to store in this front pouch here is if you have a Micro 9, this is a SIG P365 Micro 9mm, and this is a sticky holster. This actually fits in here as well. So I can fit that in there perfectly, and I can even close the lid with it. Now it's a little bit tight closing the lid with that, but it does close and it's secure. So in certain situations, that's actually a pretty good setup. It sits in there nicely and it deploys fine. So that I found has been kind of a nice setup for it. I don't have to carry an extra holster. I don't have to put this on a hip belt or in my belt line. I can just keep it right there and it's good to go. But most of the time what I'm carrying in here is my release and a lens cloth and a caul, things like that. So that's been good. So overall, I think the layout of this has been great. I really like it. The only thing with the layout maybe that I would change is the way that it opens and closes. It just doesn't seem that secure. And again, it hasn't been a huge deal. It's just something that I think maybe could be improved in the future. Now getting on to kind of the main con of this Bino harness, and the one thing that really kind of drove me crazy in the backcountry, and that is these straps. So the back straps that come with this Bino harness are this really thin 1-inch sort of webbing, and it's an X style. And I just found that I was battling these straps throughout the entire season. These thin straps in this X formation, they were always getting tangled up and really just being a pain in the ass. Really annoying to get over hoods, and really annoying if you're going to be using any sort of chest holster or pack. So it's just really was getting tangled up all the time and pretty annoying. You know, several times I'd have to take off the entire thing and really line it up, and then you have to reach over across your back, and was not a fan of these. they're a no-go for me. So what I did to modify this pack was get some new straps. So the straps that I went ahead and bought to put on this are actually the FHF air straps. So FHF, they're a company that makes packs and Bino harnesses as well. They make these shoulder straps for their Bino harness, but you can also buy these straps as a standalone. This larger support system here, and then the 1-inch webbing part comes down at the bottom, but it does not cross. So I just set this up maybe a week ago, and I've been wearing this thing around. I've been shooting with it. I've been trying on different holsters and different configurations, putting it on with a hood, and this strap system just seems to work so much better. It's a little bit heavier, maybe an ounce or two, but it honestly is so much more comfortable. It doesn't get tangled, and it also comes with Bino straps as well. So again, I'm running these Sig Zulus, which are rather thin, and a couple times bending down to get arrows or getting something off the ground. These would slide right out of here and hit the ground. So I do like that these also come with these removable Bino straps. Definitely a big improvement. So again, these are the FHF Air shoulder straps, and you can buy these as a standalone. I think I want to say they're $50. So they are kind of expensive, but rather than buying a whole new Bino harness, which is $150, $175, I just decided to get these straps because everything else with this pack I like and I want to keep. All right, now I'm going to put this on and just show you how it fits. I do find that this feels a lot better, it feels more comfortable. And even though it's a bit thicker than this 1-inch webbing here, particularly on the shoulders, these do not interfere or feel uncomfortable with a pack on over top. It's totally fine. Feels really good. There you have it. It's got the straps for the Bino. And there you go. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. That is my 1-year review on my Kifaru Deluxe Bino harness and the modifications that I made. So far, I'm liking this a lot. I plan on using this again next season. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.